If you're an empath, it's very likely you've been going through the wars in the last few years. Probably still to some degree. And it takes a lot of time to come to terms with the things that have happened. Trying to understand what's actually occurred is primary. You may be there when it occurs, but the nature of these forces and energies and manipulative people is that they utilize illusion to a great degree. So what you've seen in front of you and experienced in front of you, you soon come to realize may not have been the exact state of things. You saw what they wanted you to see, and now you've had some inklings that things weren't above board, and now that you've had a little time away, perhaps you've managed to separate yourself. Even the smallest amount of separation from deceptive circumstances can help you to begin to clear the fog. I'm talking a couple of hours to a couple of days. If you're paying attention and if you really want some answers and you're able to step away, some clarity does start to flood in. If you can put your emotion aside just for a bit and put your analytical hat on. So once you realize that things are not above board, that there's been manipulation, deception, first off, you're trying to figure out what actually happened. And to me, it appears there's only so far you can go, or so far that you should go. You need to go far enough that you can make a judgment call that what was going on was not what was being portrayed, and it wasn't what was being consented to or agreed to. That at least. If you go on too far, it's an endless pit, an endless abyss of was anything true? And it's probably impossible to know for sure. So you get enough to be able to give yourself a judgment that you can believe in. That you can say, okay, if this was a lie, and this was a lie, and this was deception, and this was said behind my back, and this was done at this time, and this doesn't fit in this timeline and sequence of events, then to my satisfaction, there has been deception, there has been manipulation. And then you try and get something of a true and real narrative, not the one that was given to you, not the one that was imposed upon you, but one that is as close to the truth as you can get it without fixating on things. So yes, if you've been through the wars as an empath, one of the first things you're probably trying to do is actually decide for yourself, what is this story here? Not the story that people wanted me to know, not the story that fit into other people's ideals and their sense of right and wrong, and what they can believe in, and what works within their spiritual belief system or their moral belief system, not other people's standards of what happened. What is it for you that happened? And you come to a point where, however difficult it is, you find enough comfort in that. You realize, okay, this is not the story I was hoping to tell, but it is, to my satisfaction, the truest version of events that I can come to, and it's enough for me to work with to move forward. So after you do that, then you start to process. Process what it means in light of the story. How you feel, what you said, what you did, what was said and done to you. You need that foundation of your choice of the story. This is what happened, and this is how I feel in relation to what happened. So you're starting to coalesce things again, according to your own rules, according to your own interpretation, according to your standards of satisfaction, not other people's, which would never bear up weight under the intricacies of the analysis that you would give them, your due diligence. So you process and you think, this is what happened. This is how I feel. And how did I get here? Why? Why was I vulnerable to this? Where is my obligation? Where is my sense of responsibility in this? And where was everything I did above board, and yet others completely took away my ability to make choices for my benefit by disguising the real nature of events from me? So you discern, you catalogue, you categorize. Where was my fault? You take responsibility, you take accountability. I did this. Perhaps it wasn't the most ideal thing to do. Why? I didn't have all the information. Can I accept that? Can I understand that? Can I allow myself to have been human, less than perfect? And then you calm yourself and you soothe yourself as you heal. So many of us empaths are doing all of these processes simultaneously at the moment. We're trying to work out what the hell has gone on, what the hell is going on. We're trying to unpack our place in the things that have happened, what we would do differently under other circumstances. And we're also simultaneously healing as effectively as we can, as soon as anything is ready to be healed. It's like a production line. It's like, okay, what did I do? What did I do? Was it wrong? Was it right? It was right, but next time I can be more cautious. Or, no, I did something, and I would always want to do that, every time, even though I got hurt. Why? Because I was led by love, I was led by truth, and I'm not the problem. Someone else did everything within their power to make it so that I was deceived. And yes, it hurt me, but I wouldn't do it any other way. And you get to that point on the production line, and you're like, cool, I've understood what happened here. Now, am I ready to heal? And you take that piece of yourself, and you look at it, and you love it, and you agree with it, and you don't judge it, and you say, yes, this aspect of me, I was hurt because of it, but it is sacred, it is good, it is true, and I'm keeping it, and I love it. And my pain is not enough to change that, and it's okay. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This mad, crazy transformation of our experiences and our energy into cementing, developing, and further anchoring our characters. It's allowing us to reassess who we are and see where we want to update, see where we want to really just keep going in the direction we've been going. Not shy away, not get scared, but go, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud. The best and brightest of me. I held true to that. And yes, sometimes the price of that is unbearable anguish. Is unbearable anguish enough of a cost to make me stop being the finest of what I am? Many of us say no, and we proceed, and we double down. But yes, perhaps more wisely. This is our work. This is what we do in the silence, in nature, in private, in our rooms. No one the wiser of the great processes that are going on. We're doing the work. And I wanted to say, we really need to marvel at this. We really need to give ourselves credit for this. After everything we've been through, you're not a cynical asshole. You don't take out your pain on every innocent person you come across. You don't spend all your time grumbling and saying, woe is me and my life is such crapshoot. How many times have you been spoken down to? How many times have you been lied to? How many times have you lived in uncertainty? How many times have you felt sad, but you didn't lash out at someone who didn't deserve it? How many times have you taken second place when you could have fought for first, but knew somebody else needs it more than I do? How many times have you just been amazing? Despite everything. And you keep processing. And you keep transmuting. When I've spoken to people about just a few of the experiences I've had in my lifetime, I usually end up sort of, I think I leave people. Yeah, I usually just stop talking after a while because people can't relate. As empaths, we go through so much. We have such a rich perception of the world that we experience. There's so much nuance. We see so much detail. We feel so much. For us, one incident is not just something so easily forgotten or written off because it's so full. It's so rich. It's so complex. There's so many layers to it. It has so much meaning. There's potential. There's stuff to work with. There's stuff we can learn and glean from it about ourselves. And it leads to a lot of other equally diverse and full and nuanced experiences. And a lot of people just don't relate to this. They don't experience life in the same way. But yes, it's a double-edged sword. When shit hits the fan and things get really difficult, then our pain is equally complex, nuanced. It's full. It has many layers. It's not simple and easy just to move on from. And yet we do the work. We keep doing the work. And as I said before, there's all these processes we have to go through to integrate this stuff. And so our minds are full of all of this processing. It's full of these loops that we need to work on until we break free of them and put them in the proper place and turn them into diamonds for our use moving forward. And that's such a full-on process that we don't take enough time to give ourselves credit. Credit for how resilient we are. Not because we want to, not because we enjoy the craziness that we're subjected to, but this is what we are. This is what we're capable of. How many times have you been brought to your knees and yet you've dusted yourself off and you've moved forward? Maybe you've had to start by crawling and you couldn't stand up straight away, but by gosh, you didn't stay down. There's something so magnificent in that. And if you resonate with what I'm saying and you recognize this within yourself, marvel. Marvel at yourself. You're not just a factory floor for processing all of these emotions. See yourself as something outstanding, something remarkable. Be proud of yourself. Be proud that you get up every day. Some days you can do more than others. Some days you can't process much. It's going to have to be a rest day. But you're probably going to get some time in, here or there, for a bit of journaling. Maybe just sitting quietly. Marvel at the wonder of what you are, who you are, what you're doing, how you're showing up. Give yourself even more reason to love yourself. Others may not have known how to love us, may not have seen our worth, but let us see it, let us be witness and recognize and value, reinforce to yourself how much you value what you are, because you do. Yes, it's sad. It feels sad when others don't value us the way we value ourselves. We have no control. We need no control. Not when we value ourselves for ourselves. We spend a lot of time thinking about what's happened, the pain. Can you spend as much time marveling at the wonder that is you?